Ladies and gentlemen, SideStrafe back with another episode of the Strafing Run. Of course, designed to keep you up to date on a not-so-regular basis. At least that's what it seems. Of course, I wanted this at one point to be a weekly or... I'm not going to say daily show because I never really wanted it to be a daily show. That was a lie. That was a lie. A bold-faced lie. No. Actually, I'd thought about, I think, making this a weekly thing, but I really just don't have that much news. I don't have anything to cover. I don't want to be a news show, or I don't want to make it a news show because there's so many people that already do that and do it a lot better than I could ever possibly imagine, so I'll leave that to them. It's more so just a way to keep everyone up to date with what's going on the channel, and you know, if there's nothing going on, then there's no point in having an episode, although a lot of you just like to listen to me rant and rave anyway, no matter what's going on. So, you know, who knows, maybe we'll try to change the format of it somehow. I still want to leave the gameplay in it. I don't know, I feel that I could do more with this. Anyway, so yeah, we've got some World of Tanks in the background for your entertainment. I'm actually playing with a friend of mine that I typically play World of Tanks with, and we've got both of our T-34s out and about. Love having two of these together because when you focus fire, it is devastating, and it's just a bag of fun. And he's really good at sticking together, following my lead or my commands, and we tend to focus fire a lot unless we're covering different angles, so that's always great. Even better if you can have a third, but you know, generally when I do get to play with a friend, which is rare, it's a lot of fun. But you know, speaking of that, I do get a lot of invites for platoon play, and I get a ton of messages in game, and I have to apologize, you know, constantly that I can't play with everybody. There's just too many requests. I literally, some of my videos, I'm sure you've seen that my entire bottom bar is filled with messages, people wanting to play, and I'm sorry, but I just can't, because it's not fair to play with one person once and not play with other people, and it just becomes a big mess. And I guess that's just the nature of being on YouTube, you know. So my apologies there. It's nothing personal. I don't hate you. I'm not being mean. It's just there's just too many requests, and I can't keep up with all of them, and I can't get back to everybody. So anyways, there's that. But yeah, so what else we got going on? 100,000 subscribers on the channel. Holy smokes, unfracking believable. I just never would have thought. I mean, to think that 100,000, actually more than 100,000, because let's face it, I've lost subs and gained subs. I gain more than I lose, but everybody loses subs. You know, more than 100,000 people have visited the channel and have subbed at one point or another. That's just crazy, and more people continue to sub every day, always gaining more, and I'm really thankful to everybody, new and old alike. If you've been around since the beginning, if you just subbed yesterday, I thank you equally. It's just amazing that you know, stick around and chat, comment, like, favorite, share. Those of you also who have liked the Facebook page and the Twitter account, links are in the description below. If you haven't, you're interested in staying in touch through those mediums, they're really helpful to me as well, because I can put out polls and things like that, and you'll always keep up with video content in case YouTube manages to spam you, and Facebook might be a better alternative. I do suggest those, and it does help out a lot, because obviously I have 100,000 subscribers, but I think we only have a little over 6,000 likes on Facebook, so I know there's a lot more of you out there that might have accounts. If you're interested, you know, if it's not your thing, no big deal, no worries, not offended whatsoever, but those options are there if you are so inclined to like or hang out on Twitter as well. But again, just epic amounts of thanks to everybody for subscribing and viewing, and just being a generally good community. Like, I've got my trolls. Who doesn't get trolls on YouTube or just the internet in general? Or you run into some grumpy, sour idiot that just has a bad life that wants to bring everybody else into his misery or her misery, and you're gonna run into that. But generally, I've got an amazing group of people that just are generally positive, who just don't care about what I do, or just here for the commentary, not the game, just like hanging out and being really cool and helping each other out with guides and tutorials, and you know, if somebody has a question, maybe you'll answer that question for me. I appreciate that, and I see it. You might not think that I see it, but I do. Just because I don't respond or can't which is generally the case. There's so many comments and things, but I'm paying attention, and I see all of you helping each other, and that's fantastic. And this is my way of saying, yeah, I notice it. I pay attention to those little things, because the little things in life matter most. You know, they really make a huge difference. They really do. No matter how minute, I'm always keeping an eye on all those comments and likes and things like that. I look at my analytics and statistics and pay attention to how long you guys are watching the videos for, and you know, I'm trying to always make things better for everyone, because I do believe in entertainment with standards, especially in this day and age when so many bad things are going on. And keep in mind that I pay attention to things on a global scale, not just my country, but all the countries. You know, there's obviously the whole Boston Marathon thing, but I know that bombings happen in countries all around the world, and I always pay attention to that. And my sympathies go out to everybody, not just Americans, everybody out there, you know, because, you know, my family's from Europe, and, you know, I'm originally from Canada, and I've got dual citizenship, so I'm an American now, and as well as Canadian. So, you know, I'm pretty worldly. So I respect all kinds of cultures and everybody, as you know, individually. I know where all my viewers are from. You know, got so many people all over the world, and I think that's so cool that I can reach out and throw this content at people all over the place. All of, you know, all of my allies, you're allies to me. That's what it is. You know, I really pay attention to that, and it's cool sometimes, even when I'm playing a game and maybe I mispronounce something in German, and I got, you know, my German viewers will correct, oh, it's pronounced like this. And, you know, that's always helpful, because I'm one of those people that I try to pronounce things correctly. And I actually appreciate when people tell me how to say something in the language, or, you know, at least try to come close to it. So that's cool. You know, we're all working together here, and that's why I love my community. And I've seen other YouTube communities, they're not so great. And I think it's just, I don't know, maybe because I try to say, hey guys, this is who I am. Don't come here if you don't have an open mind. This is what you're going to expect here. Maybe it's because I've stated my intentions, and maybe you guys appreciate that. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, you know, that's getting a little long-winded. Thank you. Every day, thank you. And, you know, I'll continue to do that till the end of time. But moving right along. The first 2 weeks in May, I will actually be in Portugal visiting my good friend and fellow YouTuber Rurikon. If you haven't seen his channel, I'll have a link in the description below. Definitely suggest you check it out. Some good stuff there. But he is getting married, finally taking the plunge, although they've been together for so long. It's pretty much been a marriage. Anyway, they're just making it official. But it's cool that they're doing that. It should be a lot of fun. Looks to be just really great. The location, just for me at least, living in the States seems so exotic. To them, maybe it's just, I don't know, the usual. But for me, visiting Portugal and getting to see all the things that we have planned, you know, outside of just attending the wedding and going to see ancient castles and ruins and things like that. Because obviously we don't have that over here. We've got Disney World and theme parks galore, but, you know, really we don't have a lot in the way of the stuff that I traditionally like when we're talking about medieval times. So Portugal is filled with castles. You know, when I looked it up and saw, I was just amazed, and it just further excited me. So there's that. Maybe spend some time in Spain, maybe hit Morocco for a day. It's going to be a blast, but that's going to be 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of May, well, starting from the 2nd. So there might be a lapse in content. I've been attempting to perhaps bulk record and get something scheduled for when I'm away, but it just hasn't been panning out. I guess I've just been overwhelmed with preparing for the trip and doing all these other things, and Blood Bowl and whatever, and I don't know, excuse upon excuse, you name it, it's there. It's been difficult, so I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully I can get some more stuff out while I'm away, because I really won't be doing anything while I'm there. I'd like to film some stuff and bring it back and share, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to be so busy with everything, just trying to enjoy the sights, you know? There's always those times where you go on a vacation, you don't really want to worry about filming anything. You just want to soak it in and have fun, because, wow, I can't wait. I'm excited, but there's that. And then in June, I think I might try to get to E3. That'll be 3 days. That won't be such a big deal. But anyway, I'm excited for all the traveling to come. I'd like to do a lot more. I'd like to go to all these crazy game conventions, you know, PAX and Gamescom and things like that. So much fun it must be to just be able to travel. And it really depends, obviously on how much money I'm making, because traveling is not cheap. But that's the one thing that I'd like to do. If I can't be that astronaut, do something amazing like that, or somehow save the world, then I can at least travel, that would make me happy. But we're working on that, so there's that. That's that notice. Hopefully, if people question the lapse in content, those of you who have watched this can pass the word along, because generally not a lot of people watch the Strafing Run. I don't know why. I guess maybe just because it's not the game they want to see. So if you ever see somebody wondering if you could pass the word, that'd be great. Of course, I'll put the updates on Facebook and Twitter. Those I'll be able to stay up, keep everybody up to date with what's going on. Maybe post pictures or whatever on that as well, because that's easy. I can keep in touch through my mobile devices and things like that. I don't think I'm going to bring my laptop, because I just kind of want to detach myself from the world for a little bit, just to get a little change in me. But so yeah, that's the biggest amount of news I wanted to discuss: the subscriptions and the whole trip to Europe, mostly. Beyond that, still waiting for DayZ standalone. Still wanting to look at more Arma 3. Just trying to figure out how to work that into my schedule and how, because obviously I really don't have the time to join a unit or anything. So I don't know how interesting it is watching me play on a server by myself. Otherwise, it's like, well, I might as well just go play Battlefield or something, and that's not going to happen. But I don't know. Battlefield 4, will I have it? I might own it just to be like, okay, what did you do now? We'll see. I might buy it just to do a first impressions. And, that way you can get my opinion on it, whether you should put your cash into it. It's not a bad game or anything, but maybe it's just going to be more of the same. I wanted 2142, actually 2143, not Battlefield 4. They're falling into the, let's continue to make, modern military-based games. 2142 was so amazing. I want the true sequel to that. Make something different. Or at least give us that eventually. Come on, DICE. Stop letting EA get a hold of you. Mess things up. It used to be amazing. But it seems like all the developers that used to have a great reputation are somehow falling into the pit of despair. If you think about BioWare is even kind of falling into it. Blizzard fell into it years ago. DICE has fallen into it now. It's just all these great devs are just kind of following the mainstream and the bandwagons and just doing the same old crap. Because everybody wants modern military stuff, so that's all we got to make. That's where the money's at. Ugh. It's terrible that it's come to that, but there's that. Anyways, I think generally I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. Oh, I should probably talk about Blood Bowl and Airsoft. Okay, Blood Bowl. I have to fight Total Biscuit next. I'm waiting on a response from him as to when that's going to happen. Obviously, my time is running short, but no matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, unfortunately, with my trip to Europe, I'm going to have to forfeit. I just don't have any choice. I've let them know that. And the thing is when we started this, we had plenty of time. Technically, I think the tournament should have been over by now. It would have been over by the time I had to go to Europe, and all would be good. But there were so many delays, people going on trips and whatever other excuses, that it pushed me to this thing to the point where now I have to forfeit. And I'm not blaming them. Things happen. But I'm just saying that it stinks that that's going to have to happen, but that's just the way it's going to be. I had fun, no matter what. I didn't really play to win. Of course I played to win, but I didn't play with that being my only objective. My major objective was to meet new people, have fun with some great YouTubers, and that objective was met, and not be the worst player. That was the other one. So, no offense to the worst player, but yeah, I mean, it's just been a blast, and, I like the game. I just don't think that I would make videos of it without it being something like that, but I don't know. I don't know that I would even return for another season necessarily, just because it ended up taking a little bit more of my time than I thought it would, mostly because I practiced more than I thought that I would, and that eats up time. And so I don't know. I'd rather just get my normal content out, and there's that. So that's Blood Bowl. My apologies for you looking for the Strafers to bring home, a cup or something, but the timing's bad, and it got pushed back so far that I might have to forfeit. So there's that bit of news that I didn't want to deliver, but I think that's the way it's going to be. Anyways, beyond that, What else? Airsoft, I know, I apologize. Those of you who probably subbed or are probably long gone at this point that are wanting more of that, but it's just a seasonal thing where for some stupid reason I end up only playing or filming during the summertime, and I don't even know why, because the summers here are horribly hot, and if you don't drink enough water, you're pretty much going to die. And it just seems like the winter times come along, a lot of people go into hibernation, and a lot of the cool players don't show up, and it's just not as entertaining to film. I don't know, it's just probably an excuse, but generally it's just hard to get out to these fields and keep up with everything else that I've got going on in my life, running the channel, and it's just, I don't know. I want to get out and get more, but it's driving out to the fields, then trying to edit all the footage. It's just not as easy as editing gameplay. Gameplay, there's always some sort of constant. With Airsoft, there's this downtime, and it's just, if I had a dedicated editing team local to me that I could work with, you know, but I can't afford that, and it's just not going to happen. Maybe in the future, who knows? Because that'd be, oh, if I could just go out to a field, film, and not have to worry about editing, that would be so much fun. And I've had requests in the past from the community, oh, I'll edit your footage, but no thanks. I just can't work remotely, and I'm not really looking to pay anybody or anything. So right now I just can't afford it, and even if you want to just do it for free, I don't want to just deal with it right now. I just can't commit the time to working with somebody else at the moment. We'll see what happens in the future. But anyways, I think that about covers it. I'm sure I've forgotten something as usual, but ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so very much for joining me. I will definitely see you on the next one.